This is J. Krishnamurti's 10th discussion with teachers and students at Brockwood Park, 1973.
Or shall we talk over together this morning?
Sir, I wonder if we could find out what love is. There's a lot I'd like to be able to put into this question.
Pardon?
There's a lot I'd like to put into this question.
Put it in.
Well, I'll try. It seems that I've been able to see all my life, in my own life and in the lives of people around me, how easily we become transformed by what we call love. And then when something destroys that, we're also destroyed. And I'd like to know what is this that we find refuge in someone else, or we find inspiration in someone else or something, and then it goes away from us all.
So you're saying,
Yes,
you're asking, what is love? Love seems to transform one at times, and when that love fades, one is destroyed. And one goes out again seeking that love, remembering it, and wanting it more, and feeling terribly lonely, sad, depressed, and all the emotional involvement in it. Is that what your question is?
that's part of it. And then there's also something that you've spoken of before, a quality which isn't inspired or doesn't depend on
Yes,
inspiration
and
in the soul.
and a quality of love which is not dependent.
Yes, and I wonder what that is.
What
I'd like
that,
to find
quite.
out about it.
Do you want to talk about that? Yes? Why?
I think most people are very, very interested in this problem of love because everyone suffers or enjoys.
All right,
attraction
right,
or
right, let's go into it. What do you think is love? Now wait a minute. Thinking about something is one thing, and inquiring, investigating is another, right? Do we see that clearly? Let me explain. As we said the other day, all thinking is from the outside. Remember also we said that in the Eskimo language, thought means outside. Through propaganda, through various forms of indoctrination, from outside, a conditioning is built in us. And that conditioning, from that conditioning, various reactions arise, which are called thoughts. So, the outside thought is always outside, whether it is imposed inwardly, whether it is imposed externally, and we react internally to outside demands. With that clear? We went into that. Need I go into it again? Huh? You understand? Understand it verbally or really?
At the moment, verbally, but
Look, thought, we said, is always from the outside. If you are a communist, you are indoctrinated in that doctrine. If you are a Catholic, from childhood, through baptism and so on, from outside, the image is built into you. Then you say, I'm a Christian or a Catholic or a Protestant, Hindu, Buddhist, and so on. Right? The thought which has been imposed upon you from the outside becomes your thought, but is still outside. Huh? Right? Now, when I ask you, what do you think about love? What do you say about love? How do you listen to what is being said? You understand? I ask you, what do you think of love? And your thought being from the outside, you are going to answer that question superficially from the outside. I mean, wait. Just not what next. Just see what takes place. Do you understand my... Am I making myself clear? So you are thinking about one thing, love, is always superficial. And so your examination through thought, through reason, is always superficial. However logical, however rational, it is still on the surface. Right? So how are you going to answer that question? Either you answer it through mentation, that mentation being thinking, rationalizing, reasoning, and therefore superficial, from the outside, and responding, thinking it is yours, but still outside. Do you understand it? Are you clear?
We can't reason about them.
Ask any question. So either you answer any question put to you superficially through thinking, which is outside, which has become the inside, and then you say, this is what I think. This is what I feel to be true. Still from the outside, which is reacting, from the outside, which is really, which you think is inside. Right? So there is one way of looking at this, all questions. Either you examine superficially, answer superficially, or investigate into this whole question what love is. Investigate means to trace out, as we went into that word, right? To trace out step by step, hesitantly, not knowing, not saying this is so, but always inquiring, hesitating, uncertain. Now, which is it we are going to do when I ask that question?
Investigate.
Yes, investigate. Because how can you answer something which is not mere thought? Right? So you must be very clear for ourselves, very, very clear, from what level we are answering this question. Level being thinking, reasoning, using logic, conclusion, and saying, yes, this is what I think. But what you think has come from the outside, and therefore still remains on the outside. Huh? I'm got to emphasize this thing, labor the point little, because most of us think that thinking is the most important thing in life. And answering questions from that level doesn't include the whole structure of man, right?
It's like old news. It's like just continuing the old.
That's right. So, is that clear? We are not using thought as a means of investigation. Huh? Do you understand that? Look, I'm going to investigate what love is. And how do I investigate it? If I use thought being superficial, thought being fragmentary, remember we went into all that, thought being the response of memory, I then block my investigation. Because I'm always looking at this problem with the past memories, with my hurts, with my longings, with my... Therefore, I can't proceed deeply into that question. Is that clear? Huh? So, investigation means to trace out, which means the observation must be free from the memory, the conclusion, the experience, thought. You've understood this? So, is your mind, not my mind, your mind, capable of looking at this problem without saying, well, this is what I think, without thought coming into it? It's a tremendous question. You understand? It's not just easy question and answer. Now I'm going to show you what to do. I see very clearly thought must always be superficial, from the outside. Though I pretend it is from the inside. I think. My opinion. This is true. I know. It's still from the outside. And I want to find out, investigate what love is. That means I must be capable of looking what love is, which exists now. Look, and we went into that question. Look at the whole map of love. As you look at the whole map of England, very carefully drawn out where the roads are, where the villages are, where the towns are, narrow, big, carefully drawn out, in the same way to look at the very complex problem of what love is, that map. We're going to look, not say it is right, it's wrong, it should be, it should not be, this is the real love, this is the wrong love. You understand? Huh? We're going to look together at this map. Together. Not you look and I don't look. Together we are going to look, because together we are going to take a journey. You may be driving, but also I'm a passenger, but we're together going. Is that clear? Right. You understand exactly where you are?
Yes, but which is the entity that is now looking at all this map?
Huh?
Which is the entity?
Who is the entity that looks?
Yes.
Why do you ask that question? Quite right. But find out why you ask it. Is it thought?
No.
I mean, don't say no.
Well,
Ask. Is it thought? That has created the image of the me, the entity that looks. You have understood that? Therefore, you're still looking from the outside. Therefore, you're not investigating. Therefore, there is no thought when you look. Therefore, there is no entity which says, I look. There is only looking. I wonder if you get this. You understood, Gregory?
Yes.
Right? Vous avez bien compris. Yeah. Yeah? Now, there is no entity looking at the map. The entity is the combination of many, many thoughts, which are always outside, coming from the outside. Though one thinks that is coming from inside. So when you are observing this map, there is only looking, not I am looking. Right? Or we're all going to do this together. Looking. Now, what do you see when you look at this map of what you call love? Begin very, very slowly, from the very beginning. That is from where you are, not where you think you should be. What do you think? Or when you observe this map, what is the first thing that you look at?
What is said about love?
Answer my question. Look, when you look at this map of love, what is the thing that strikes you when you look?
Main root.
Huh?
I said the main root.
The main root. What is the main root? Go on, inquire.
How people get caught up in it.
No, that's your conclusion. No, you look. That is, look carefully. Please don't be clever. We're not trying to be clever, trying to convince one. What strikes you when you look at this map of love? What do you see first? She said, just a minute, sir. She said, route, the main road, right? Is there only one main road? No, don't go back and become shy and shake your head. Find out. Is there only one main road in this map of love?
The whole idea of love is that it's a whole. It's not just one thing. It's not just a part of it. It's the whole thing. It's all, everything, all the roads.
So you are saying what you see, when you look, you see the whole of it. Is that it? Including pleasure, fear, sex, loneliness, All that you see in that one map, when you look. Because that's her question. She wanted to discuss this morning what love was, what love is. I said, are you putting that question from to think it out, rationalize, follow, come to a conclusion, or are you going to look at the map of this thing called love? Have you looked at an ordinary map? See how complex it is? So many roads, so many main roads, so many villages, so many towns. One narrow road, big road. You follow how very complex it is. It doesn't become complex. Listen carefully. It doesn't become complex when you know where you are going. Right? You take a map and you say, I want to go to Dover or Canterbury or London. Then the road becomes very clear. Right? You see it. You take 32 or whatever you take. But because it becomes clear, because you know where you want to go. Here, you don't know where you want to go. You understand this question? So you look at it and see the extraordinary complexity of it. Right? You don't say, well, I want to go there, therefore it becomes easy. But you look at it and say, how extraordinarily complex it is. Right? There are so many roads, so many big roads, little roads, so many twisting roads, cunning, deception. You follow? So you say, this is, from looking at the map, it is a tremendously complex thing. Right? Right?
On a map from the outside.
I'm looking from the outside.
Then it'd be very complex.
It is complex. Therefore, I'm going to find out. Listen carefully. I'm going to find out how to look at it very simply. A very complex problem to look very simply. Right?
Excuse me, when we recall the whole question of love as a map, that means we have to have an image.
No. Oh, Turkey, darling, no. No, that was a meta, a simile.
Yes, but how can we look?
I'll show it to you. I'm going to show it to you in a minute.
I don't feel that at the moment.
I'm going to show it to you in a minute.
I have to recall my memory when I feel that. That means sort of looking again from the past.
No, Tunki, look. She asked, forget names. Carol. She asked, would you please this morning talk over what love is? Because it is a problem for most of us. Love seeks to transform us. When we love somebody, it does something to us, transform us. And also, when it fades, goes away, it destroys us. There are all kinds of problems involved in it. Not only that, but loneliness, despair, and so on, so on, so on. So would you talk about it? I said, let's talk about it. Now, when you put that question, what love is, listen to it carefully, Tunki. I'm speaking very slowly. What love is, do you think about it? If you think about it, as we said, all thought is from the outside. All thought. Though you think it comes from the inside, it is still the outside. I explained that, right? So, when you look at love, not only the verbal meaning, but the whole content of that word, do you look through the eyes of thought, which is me, the entity looking, the entity being the me, which is built up by thought, which is from the outside, though I think it is the inside? Or do you look, only look, without the entity? And I said, it's like a map. Like a map. It is not, you said, just an example, like a map. When you see a map, you see so many roads, so many main roads, so many side roads, little roads, big, and so on. And when you look, when you want to go to a certain place, then the road is very clear. There is a mark. From here to there is the road, so many miles, so many twists, turn left, right, but it's clear. But when we look at the map, again a simile, there is no map of love, it is a form of speaking. What do you see? What do you see, Tunki?
I don't see anything.
All right, Tunki, I ask you. Do you love me?
I couldn't say because
Wait. I'm asking, just go, be simple, Tunki. Do you love somebody? Of course you do. Your father. You understand?
yes, it is.
Good, stay there. Don't complicate it yet. Yes, I love my father. I loved him. He's no longer there, but I really loved that man. I was fond of him. I liked his company. I liked to talk to him, and so on and so on. Now, what does that love mean? That's what she's trying to find out.
Could it be a sort of traditional love for your father?
We're going to find out everything about it. So when I look at the thing called love, look, it's such a complex thing, you follow? So I say, I will look, wait a minute, carefully, listen to me carefully. I will look little by little, step by step, or I will look with eyes that are total, that can see the whole thing. You understand? You understand? Have you understood? Either I look with narrow eyes, this part, that part, the other part, jealousy, pleasure, loneliness, fear, sex, wanting companions. I look one by one, examine, analyze, go into it. Or I see the whole thing at a glance. Now, which do you do? Don't pretend. Don't say, yes, that would be marvelous to say. Just actually, what do you do?
I live bit by bit.
Now, stick to that. Stick to that. Don't be persuaded by anybody. We're going to... Now, bit by bit. You understand? How long will it take you?
Forever.
Bit sex. Bit jealousy. Attachment. Detachment. Investigating each. You follow? It'll take you many days, many months. Actually to live it. Right? You may never solve it till you die. Most people don't. So, it is very important to learn, we went into that word, what it means, to learn to look. Not fragmentarily, understand, broken up. Analysis means to break up. When you take one bit after another, you are really analyzing. Whereas when you look at the whole thing, there is no analysis but clarity. We went into that. I'll go into it again. Have we understood so far? You don't go to sleep. Your English professor, come on. So it all depends how you look. What is your look revealing? You understand that word, revealing? Showing. Tunki, are you looking at this problem of love, not problem, at this question of love, which every human being, you understand, doesn't matter the most primitive human being and the most cultivated, sophisticated human being talks about love, right? Wants to hold hands with somebody. He wants to be encouraged. He says, you're doing very well, old boy, go on. He feels terribly lonely.
That's all security, isn't it?
This is what he feels, old boy. You may say that's security and cut him off. But we're talking of human beings, however low or however high, however primitive or however cultured, have this tremendous feeling. Wanting to be loved, feeling lonely. When they are loved, they feel they're in heaven. And when they are not loved, they are down. Now, when you look at it, Tunki, at this question of what love is, do you look at it bit by bit? One by one? Jealousy, anger, fear. Oh my God, I'm attached to her, I mustn't be attached to her. It is terrible,
Using the example as you give about, what love is, and do you love your father? And
I asked you.
yes, using that, then I see it bits by bits.
Yes, now wait, that's good enough. I asked you a question, do you love your father? Did you love your father? Because he's no longer here. Did you love your father? And you see, did I? Yes, I did, because I liked him. He was much older than me. I couldn't really understand him. He went off. I was left here. And so you looked little by little, bit by bit, right? Now when you look bit by bit, what takes place?
I don't think all those feelings belongs to one thing. I mean, there is no such thing as love as all, but there are a relationship with people, and any relationship is one, is that, and with others is different.
So you say, love is relationship. Is that it? Stick to it, don't. It may be true, okay. So when you look, you say love is relationship. And then you can investigate what love is, what relationship is. You follow? Which is part of love. So, I'm asking you, Tunki, I'm asking each one, do you see love in fragments, broken up, segments? Or do you see love as something whole, unbroken, not fragments?
Fragments implies two things. One, actually, I was going to say, when I relate to you, I would have a different relation to somebody else.
That's not the relationship we're talking, not
Yes.
to whom you're related to. You may have less relationship with me than with your father or with your friend, or you may have it more with me than with somebody else. But we're not talking with whom you're related, the quality, the extent of that relationship, but relationship. Not with whom you're related. I wonder. What's the difference?
Yes. What is it?
You're splitting up your relationship. If you think in terms of who your relationship with, you're just splitting up what you think relationship.
So we are looking at relationship. Relationship means being in contact with. Meaning of that word, not with whom. You get it? It means to be related means to have communication with, to share things with. So, and I'm just limiting it to that relationship. Now, is that what you see when you look at love? When you are examining? Is that the main current? The main road? Go on, please, stir yourself, answer these questions. Don't sit there and wait for me to answer it. We are investigating, examining together. My God.
Possibly if we investigated, say, another road, what we think of love is, then we can see.
Now, do you, when you look at this question, what love is, do you see relationship as the main current?
No.
Huh?
No, I don't right now.
Wait. What do you see?
I really, relationship, I just see what, at the very first, I just see what people say when they say what love is. That's what I first see.
No, Leave people out. Don't be concerned what people say.
No, what has been said then? What does the book say and all that?
I have
That's what
to
you first
burn
said.
them all. Put them out. What do you see?
Well, then I don't see anything, period. That love is. I don't know what love is.
So you say, wait. So you look, and I say, but I don't know what it means.
When people say something,
Wait,
I don't know.
no.
When you say I love you, well, I don't know.
My darling, look, sir, please stop. I said to you, don't bother what other people say, what books say, what the Bible says. Put all that aside. What do you say when you look at this question? Tunki says it is probably a relationship. He may change. But he says, I think it is relationship. It looks to me like relationship. That is the main current. And I ask you, what do you see? Gregory? What do you see?
I see that it's a very complex thing.
You see complex. You are using what do you see? Be careful. Don't repeat what I say. What do you see?
Maybe.
I see there are so many different things
I know.
involved.
Now, what strikes you as the most prominent thing amongst all the complexities?
The relationship, I suppose, is the thing that threads them all.
So you agree with Sunki that the main current in love is what looks to me, perhaps it's not, I may change, but for the moment it is relationship. Do you say the same thing too, Gregory?
Would you say affection was a part of a relationship?
Huh?
Would you say affection was a part of a relationship?
I don't. Affection,
He says, is affection a part of a relationship?
we're going to find out.
Because when you say love, I immediately see affection.
Affection. So, and you see, you say affection, they say relationship. Right? Anybody else? What do you
But
say?
doesn't there have to be affection to have a relationship? Doesn't there have to be?
I'm asking you. You have to find out. Don't put me the question and let somebody just put the question, but find out.
But when you say that you see the whole map of love, which is included fear, loneliness, and all that.
When you see the whole,
Yes.
if you see the whole, then you can describe the detail.
No, but my question was, then is that love then, or love is something?
We're going to find out. You want to come to a conclusion. You want to say, well, this is love. I say, I don't know. I'm going to find out.
But is that included in love?
We, step by step, boy, look what has been added. Thought is not love. Right? I said, thought is from the outside. And the entity that says, I am going to examine or investigate love, that entity has been put together by thought, which is from the outside. We went into all this the other day. And we are now investigating what love is. You have said it is, probably it is relationship in which affection exists. If there is no affection, there is no relationship. You have discovered this. You understand? I am not telling you. You, for yourself, by talking over together, say, yes, I see love implies, or I see love means relationship. And there can be relationship only when there is affection. Now, then you say, what is affection? And what is relationship? You follow?
Then you're going bit by bit?
No. I'll show you in a minute. It's not bit by bit. That's the main current from what you two have said. Right? That's the main current of love in life, relationship. You see that. That is not bit by bit. Then we are saying, he added that in relationship, if there is no affection, it doesn't exist, right? That was mere conclusion on his part. Just an idea.
No, I didn't exactly say that.
He put it differently. Yeah, he put it, affection must exist. Otherwise relationship cannot be. Put it doesn't matter. I mean, so I'm going to see what relationship means. I see this is the main current. Very powerful current. And when I'm really related to something, I'm vibrating with it, as she said. So I say to myself, now what is this main current? What is it like? What is relationship? Tunki, what is relationship? You're passing your exams. What is relationship? What does it mean to you? Come on, don't go to sleep. What does it mean to you? No, you think it out carefully. I'm asking her. What do you think is relationship? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you?
To have a feeling for a different person. To have a feeling for a person.
To have a feeling for a person.
That's what I think.
You, huh?
Not what I think it is.
Careful, therefore you're learning. Good. Good. So what does it mean when you observe? Listen carefully to my question. When you observe this main current, and we have named it as relationship, when you look at it, what does it convey to you? Not what you think.
I get from that,
Yeah.
From that, feeling. Just, I don't know how you say it if you don't say I think.
It's only use the word I think for the moment. We'll understand.
I get the impression from that word, feeling. Just if I hear that word,
you have, when you look at it, you have a feeling. Tunki, what does it mean to you? To you, not to anybody else. Not what the books say, what you have heard other people say. What does mean that word convey to you?
Excuse me, let me go back for a bit. When I investigate this, then I have to think over of a relationship with people. Or
what does it mean to you?
That means I use the...
Yes, use it. I see how your mind was working. Use it. You were related to your father. Fairly close. When you look at that relationship, look, not think about it. Look. Which is different from thinking about it. When you look at that relationship, what does it say to you? Gregory? There are only 2 or 3 people that talk. There is what the dickens is the matter with you?
Can I clarify looking? So that means looking, we can use the past, but the looking is now.
Yes. Looking is now. But you may look now with the eyes of the past.
I don't quite understand that.
Huh?
I don't quite understand that.
You don't quite understand. I'll explain. I look at you. I may have an image of you because I've been to Ojai. They have talked to me about you or not. I have an image about you. So I'm looking now at you with the image which I have created in the past. Therefore, I'm not looking at you now. Therefore, I'm looking at you from the past. You got it? Good. Keep to it. You've learned something. Keep learning. Right, okay? So I'm asking you, please keep your mouth quiet. Sorry, I'm going to insist. You're all old people. What do you say?
I think to be related is to be in contact.
That's a verbal statement. What do you see? You see how quickly you turn into words?
I see relationship as being really with something, without, without the divisions and fragments. There's no separation.
No,
when you're saying something, I'm not creating an image. I'm really. Do you understand?
I understand that's not my question. My question is, what does relationship mean to you?
It seems like
Actually, not it should be.
to carry on talking with you, so you had to be extremely honest with you.
That's it.
You won't go into
That's it.
your hanging on the floor.
Yes. That's it. One has to be tremendously honest, right? When you are investigating, you cannot play tricks. Be dishonest, twist. To suit, I like this, so therefore I won't look anymore. You keep looking. And whatever is revealed is the fact, not what you want it to be. Therefore, you must have eyes that are really honest.
But how do you know if you are looking without any images?
That is learning. That is finding out. I may look at you, Gregory, and say, yes, I'm looking at you. But I may have an image of you. Therefore, I'm not looking at you. Therefore, my mind says, by Joe, I want to look at him. I'm not going to have an image. It's finished, that image, because I'm very, very interested in seeing you.
And how do you know, deep down, that image might not still be affecting you?
I'll find out.
Oh, I don't have an image now.
Huh?
Thrilled. I don't have an image. Now I can really see you. You could say that to yourself, and you'd be thrilled for the rest of your life. Oh, I don't have any images.
I reckon you can keep on repeating, but you may have a dozen images. That's just a deception. So now I watch. The mind watches. Say, well, Gregory, I'm going to meet Tunki, I'm going to meet her, this, that. I'm going to see if there is an image. I'm investigating, learning all the time, not just this half hour. So I'm watching. So I see the mainstream in this so-called question of love is relationship, from what you all have told me. And I say, what is this thing called relationship? Can there be a relationship with anybody if I have an image of that person?
No.
What makes you say that?
Because, well, from my common sense, as I can see, that's why I said it, because immediately my common sense came, because if there's me and that person, there's an image in between, and I'm not related to that person.
So, have you an image? Your common sense may say that, which is clever. But actually, honestly, as you point out, do you have an image?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yes.
Then what's the point of common sense?
That's what motivated why I said
Therefore you say, I have images. Therefore, I am not related. So, you learn that as long as there is an image, there is no relationship. And the main current of this thing called love is relationship. Therefore, I really don't know what love is, because I have so many images about everybody. So I say, now, my question then is, why does the mind have these images? Are you understanding all this? Okay.
I think there is two sides. There is one relationship where something created between the
Don't use that word creative. I don't know what that word means. Because that word has so many meanings. So I say, what are you trying to say to me? Use simple words.
Well, for example, when you work with somebody, then there is something.
Yes. I work with you in cleaning the garden. There is a mutual relationship in digging, planting. There, it's a different kind of relationship, right?
Yes. And there is.
Wait, go slow, boy, go slow. There is that kind of relationship. Then there is another relationship between you and me, because we both are learning about mathematics. The teacher, you and I, we are learning. So there is a different relationship between the teacher and us who are learning mathematics, right?
I don't see the difference.
There is a relationship with my friend whom I meet once a week in London. Or there is a different relationship with my wife, with my girl, or with this or that. So you are saying there are different kinds of relationship. Is that it?
No. All that, I call it a kind of relationship. All that.
Yes.
And there is other thing.
What is the other thing?
Which is when I look at somebody and I just look, and there is something in it.
Now look, you are looking at me. You are actually looking at me. Have you an image about me?
No.
Huh?
No.
You're quite sure?
Yes.
Be very honest.
if he's actually looking at you.
Huh?
If he is actually looking at you, then he doesn't have the image.
You are telling me about him?
Well, if I actually see you...
That you say, are you actually looking at me?
No.
Huh? Or you have an image of me? Huh? What? Commit yourself. Don't be frightened. So, relationship, from what you say, varies. Wait, go slow. Varies. When it varies, hot and cold, and near, far, intimate, not intimate, you follow? What takes place? Are you going to sleep?
There's a type of sharing, I think, and it's at different levels.
Oh, sharing at different levels. Wait a minute, carefully. Sharing. I share with you something. What is important? What you share, or what the capacity of your sharing, or the feeling of sharing?
You mean what makes the relationship?
No, you use the word sharing. What is it? Sharing. I said, in relationship, which is varying from what you say, in that sharing is less and more. Of course. It varies. She can't share as much as you can share. Or he. So according to you, it varies. Now, I can go out for a walk and smell the flower. That flower, jasmine. But jasmine isn't concerned. It is full of perfume. It doesn't say, well, it varies. You understood? It says, I'm full of this marvelous perfume. You can share it, and somebody else shares less. It's up to you people. I don't care. There it is. Is relationship like that? You follow? Sharing in relationship. I wonder if you get all this.
It seems to me you use these words in one direction. Very many people share very neurotic, destructive relationships.
Oh, of course. That's a different point, too. All right, I'll bring that in. I am neurotic. You know what that means? Huh? No? Unbalanced.
Say a relationship of dependence.
Yeah, first I'm going to... You know what neurotic, being neurotic? Slightly, not fully there. Slightly unbalanced, a link missing. I do things oddly. Now, I depend on you. I have a relationship with you, but I depend on you. And I hold you. I'm attached to you. I won't let you go. But you want to be free of me too, because you like somebody else. So, I get angry, I get violent, depressed, and act from that anger, from that depression, do things which are not balanced. But yet it is relationship, you understand? Have you got it? I am attached to you. We have relationship. In that relationship there is attachment. And I say I mustn't be attached. It's dreadful to be attached. I know what it means. It means fear. Therefore, I must fight in myself. And from that tension, from that battle that's going on with me, I do something which is not harmonious, not whole, not healthy, not sane. That is neuroticism. You got it? Right? Oof. I'm going to make you all people. Right, good, you saw it.
Krishnaji, earlier you asked, do you have an image of me? It seems difficult, that question, because right now it doesn't seem that I have an image of you. But perhaps yesterday or sometime...
Yes, so you may have an image which may come alive, but for the moment you have not. So that is learning. That's being honest in words, in fact, in seeing.
But that's exactly what I meant.
Yes, Tunki, I understood that. That's why one has to be, as he pointed out, very honest to oneself. You don't have to tell me you are dishonest. You follow? Be honest in yourself, not how I am dishonest. That's my affair. So you see, in this stream, in this question of what love is, the main current apparently is this relationship. In this relationship you have learned, not I haven't taught you. You are learning that as long as there is... No, you are learning that as you see that image distorts relationship, right? Then you say, is there an image in my mind?
Image of what?
About you. About the Englishman, about the German, about the Hindu, about my friend who said you're a damn fool.
Our images are memories.
Obviously.
But I might remember many things about you from the past.
Yes.
Which I can't forget.
Yes.
So would an image be a memory which would affect your attitude towards the person?
Look, you've told me, you said the other day, I was a nice chap. You didn't. You probably thought I'm a damn fool, but it doesn't matter. You said something nice to me. That created an image in me. Because you've said something very nice. 4 days ago, that remains. So I look at you and say, he was a nice chap, he told me nice things about me. So you're my friend. So I look at you with the past. Now wait a minute, go slow, we go slow. Can I look at you without that image? It's very, look, you have stolen something from me. And that obviously it leaves an image. And yet you and I live in the same house. How am I to be free of that? Is it possible to be free of that image and yet meet you? Because we have to have a relationship, because we're a small community.
Well, when you use that word relationship, it can just as well be with the image as we saw.
Huh?
When you use that word relationship, it can just be with the image as well.
It can be recent image.
No, with an image.
That's what I'm finding out. We are finding out. We have said, as long as there is an image in relationship, there is no relationship.
No, we said there is a distorted relationship.
It's distorted. It is neurotic relationship. Call it neurotic. Yes, we said that. We said that very carefully. We may call it relationship, but it's distorted.
So we're looking for a love
Therefore, I am saying to myself, love is really, I see it, not saying to myself, I see the actuality that love, when you are asked this question, is relationship, this tremendous current. And I see in that current the image which I have about somebody. Therefore, I have no relationship with that person. I may have a relationship distorted. But that distorted relationship is no relationship. It's a neurotic relationship. If I am attached to you, I'm frightened of you.
Frightened of losing you.
Losing you. Therefore, I do all kinds of things to keep this in seemingly relationship, which is neurotic. It is twisted. It's not clean flowing relationship. Of course. So, I'm learning. There is learning going on all the time. And you are learning, right? Okay? You are learning. You are not memorizing. You are not saying, yes, there must be no images. But you are learning about relationship, and in that relationship, the existence of images. And when there are images, there's distortions, tensions, fears, from which there are actions which are neurotic. You are learning. The next thing is, can there be in relationship no image at all?
That means forgetting.
Huh?
Does that mean forgetting everything the person...
And we're going to find out. Because I
don't think you can forget everything the person has done in the past.
Can
you look at the person with the image, say, around the corner?
That's right. You have stolen from me something which I like very much. We are living in the same community, in this small community. We went into all the community, home and all that. How am I to have relationship with you? Listen to it carefully, because we are living in the same house. If you stole it and we are living in the same house, how am I to meet you with a relationship which is not distorted? Though you have stolen from me, I know you have stolen from me.
Excuse me, I think, relationship is more precious than anything you can own, like a chair or anything.
Yes.
Relationship is more precious than anything.
I understand, but I don't know if it is precious or not precious. We're going to find out. Don't come to a conclusion. Now, Gregory, listen to this. Gregory has taken something from me. And we are living in the same small community here, Brockwood. And how am I to meet him in a relationship in which the image which he has built in me by stealing, how is it to exist? You follow?
Pardon? I don't understand.
You didn't listen. You were looking over his shoulder. I'll explain. You have taken my socks without telling me. And we are living in the same room, in the same house. Your taking away my socks has created an image in me about you. You have created an image in me. Now, I haven't created it, but you, by your act, have created the image in me. Right? Now, and I've understood how destructive images are. Now, what am I to do? You have taken my things. What? how am I to not to have that relationship, that image?
Can't you
Huh?
can't you talk to the person about it?
Huh?
Trying to clarify
Yes.
why he took the soul.
Yes, I do all that. But the image, image is very strong stuff, you know.
You say it yourself. You just said it. I just saw that images are destructive.
Yeah.
Well, if you really saw it, then you can't have this image anymore.
That's it. Now, when you say images are destructive, is it an idea or an actuality?
An actuality.
Depends
Huh?
how the person sees it.
If you still have images, then it's an idea.
Therefore, I'm finding out now. I'm coming to the point. You have taken away my things, stolen it. I have to live in the same house. And you have given an image about yourself to me. It remains because you have taken, that's a fact. Now, what am I to do? Okay, have you understood my question? Sorry, you're looking somewhere else.
I was experimenting with this looking.
I'm asking you now, don't experiment looking at the picture. I'm asking you a question. You have taken something from me without telling me. You have put an image in me about yourself. And I see clearly the image distorts our relationship. But yet you have taken it away, taken things away from me. How am I to meet you? The image is strong because the thing you have taken I like very much. Because my grandmother gave me something like it. I like it very much. And you come and take it away without telling me. And that has left a mark on me. And I say, how am I to meet you without that mark? If I meet you with that mark, my action will be distorted. I'll pretend to be your friend, and I'm going to hit you somewhere. I talked to you about it. Why did you take it? Please return it. But the image has remained. You follow? So what am I to do?
Well, it seems to me it involves one more thing. It's like to have had this image, as you say, you liked it very much, so you were exposed to get this image. It's very strong.
Of course. That's another part of it. I like it. I like my tie. It doesn't matter.
And it's very difficult to go about if you're still very attached to something.
I'm just saying, Simon, don't take the...
You said also that you've talked to him, you said, look, you've taken it, stuff like that. Well, if you came to an understanding, somehow came to an understanding, you either got it back or something happened, then it seems that would be finished.
But you remember that person took the soul.
Yes, you may give it back, you may talk about it, but I'll remember that you took it. You may say, well, you hit me, and you got angry because I said, you hit me. I may be responsible for a hit, but still, it's remembered. I remember there is remembrance of your hitting. I take these different examples, so don't stick to examples.
There is a thing. That's what I was just. It's again from the past. It sometimes happens that though you have an image of the person, but occasion happen that you see a person without that image.
Right. How does that happen?
Somehow you yourself are quiet at that moment.
If it is something very important, you understand? That image remains. If it is very casual, it goes off.
But what makes it the thing important?
Oh Lord.
That's what I'm just asking.
What makes, I'll show it to you. When you're together, you say things to me, unpleasant. You write me a letter and say you are a damn fool. You do all kinds of things to me, to each other. In relationship that takes place. So, you and I have built images about each other. And in that, the distortion has taken place. Right? Because now, I'm asking, how I've just seen that relationship means no image. I've just seen or learning that love is without an image. But one is full of these images. So I say, how is the mind to be free of these images? We are investigating what love is. You follow?
Not one particular image.
Yet that's it. The many images that I have been building for 40 years of my life.
And the main image about myself.
Yes. Main image about myself, I am great, I am noble, I am dirty, I am ignoble, I am neurotic, I am marvelous, I am...
Well, it seems that we started with relationship and we've discovered we had many ideas about relationship, and we seem to, our actions have been to a pattern of relationship.
That's right.
Of relationship.
That's
now
right.
we've come down to images.
That's right.
And I'm stuck.
No, wait, you're not stuck. Don't. So you say I'm images. So I'm learning about images now, not about love. You understand? Not about relationship. But I'm learning why this whole image building takes place. You understand?
I can't form a word.
Go on, you can. Don't. When you can speak, you can formalize it, put into words.
Aren't the images like thoughts imposed upon us from the outside?
Yes. Haven't you got image also about yourself?
Yes, if somebody says that you're a good-looking person, you always think...
Of course. So you have both the outside and the inside images. So they're all images, whether outside or inside. Now you've got this. Now, please listen. We started out by asking what love is. And looking at that, we are learning that it is relationship. In looking at the relationship, we are learning that as long as there are images in that relationship, distortion takes place. From that distortion, there are neurotic activities. So, what I'm saying, I'm learning about image building. Right? You've seen that now? I'm learning. Now, what are images? You know the meaning of that word? I'm guessing because I haven't looked it up. Mr. Simmons will tell me. Word comes from imagination, imagine. I imagine that I am on the top of the hill when I'm sitting really in a comfortable chair. imagine, create an image. Either I create an image by the hand, mold, or I build an image by thought. Right? You understood? So, the word, please correct me, sir, the word image is a picture, is a scene, a landscape which I imagine, which doesn't exist. I have seen the landscape or the sea and imagine sitting in my room far from the sea, what marvelous thing that blue sea is with all the white waves and the movement. A fancy, an illusion. All that's implied in that word.
And it blurs away really what you're looking at. You just
Of course.
start having this image in front of
So,
you.
now you have images. We know what the meaning of that word means. Now you're going to learn. Learn about it. Don't say, I have none or I have. Learn. We know what the meaning of that word is. Unreality, thing that is over, either thing that is over romantically or actually, an illusion which I cling to, which has no reality, a fiction, and so on. I have all that. That is an image. Now, there are these images. I'm learning why they take place. Why do they take place?
It seems, sir, that I like to have them because I like to feel that I know who you are and who I am and all the people
So,
around me.
one of the factors is you are saying having an image gives me certain quality of certainty. Maybe certainty. That is security. So, I live in the illusion that Jesus is the most, etc., etc. And that gives me tremendous satisfaction, and that in that I take security. I have security. In an illusion. Right? Knowing the meaning of that word. So, listen carefully. They have, through propaganda, put on through 30 years of my life, living in a country whose culture is based on the worship of Jesus or Christ as a person and all the rest of it, that has been imposed upon me. And that is an image which has no reality. He may have existed, may not, I don't know, but it has no reality in the sense it has been put on me, on the mind, from the outside.
Someone told you.
Watch it, look at it in yourself, learn. I have been told I'm a Hindu from the outside. And I say I'm a Hindu. And I have the image of a Hindu. The image is an illusion. But I like that illusion. I am an Englishman. Because living in this country, in this island. It has been told I'm an Englishman, and the culture of Englishmen, the literature, the painting, the music, the landscape, the rivers, the history, the dance, you follow? And I'm an Englishman. The image has no reality as the fact. You follow? It's an idea. It's an image. It's a fiction. It's a verbal fiction which has certain overtones of emotions. So, wait. So I say, I live in illusion. Right? Right? Are you agreeing to this? Don't agree. Huh?
If you have images, you do.
Not learn. So you are learning that that our minds live in great illusions. Right? Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Communist, Mao, and so on. Huh? All that gives me feeling of safety, security, certainty. I know Jesus exists. I know state worship is the best. I know Mao is right. You follow? We live in this imaginary world, fictitious world. And we take refuge in this fictitious world. And that is the very essence of neuroticism. Sorry. So I've learned. I'm learning. So I see that very, very, very clearly. Therefore, from that perceiving that very clearly, my mind is never caught in any illusion. I just deal with facts. Facts are not illusion, right? You and I have named this as the microphone. The naming has a meaning to you and to me because we say that's a fact. We can call that an elephant, and if you and I agree to call it, it will still be a fact. As long as we give it a name which will convey to both of us the same meaning.
So when you're talking with somebody, you have to make absolutely sure that you're talking
facts,
and they're understanding exactly what you're understanding.
That's right. Therefore, never come to say, well, love is this. Somebody came to see me the other day in London, also doesn't matter which place, and said, I know what truth is. I have experienced. Now, what's happened? You follow? Stopped. He won't learn anymore. I know.
He didn't say that to you. He said himself.
He said to me. So when we say I know, we are really blocking further learning. When we say love is this, we are blocking further learning about love.
But you can say that love is not when you don't understand something.
Yes.
That you can say.
So now we have learned this morning, listen to it, we are learning this morning this question of what love is. There is lots more in it. We have just begun to unravel it, little. we see that relationship is the main current, one of the most strong, voluminous stream. And in that stream I observe, seeing, there are images. These images distort relationship. And from that distortion, activities take place which become neurotic, unbalanced, ugly. And I say, what are images? Images have no validity as facts have validity. The fact is you are sitting there. The fact is I have a toothache. I haven't got, but I've got a toothache. The fact is, you follow? So, as long as we are dealing with facts, there is no image forming. You have stolen my socks, that's a fact. But if I build an image about you as stealing, that's a non-fact.
You start learning about
Yeah, that's it. So I'll deal with you factually.
So what happens when it becomes rather obsessive with me that you stole my socks?
Of course, that is another form of neuroticism. Living in an illusion that you have stolen my socks. You might have returned it. You might say, well, I'll give it back to you, but I'm so sorry, I apologize. But the image still remains. Is that enough for this morning?
So I haven't quite followed that, sir. The fact is, you've stolen my socks.
Yes, sir. Now remain with that fact.
But why should
Wait. What?
Why should I remain with it?
That's a fact, isn't it?
Yes, but why should I continue to...
I'm going to show you, sir. I have taken something from you. That's a fact. Round that fact, I build the image, emotionally. You should not have taken it. It's mine. You are a robber. So, I create an image round the fact. Wait, look at it. So if I remain with the fact, what takes place? That you have stolen my things, or I've stolen something from you. That's a fact.
So I may be deluding myself, but it seems that sometimes one remains with a fact. There's a fact, but somehow one goes for a walk and one's still with it.
Yes, I remain with the fact. Look at it. Please do look at this. I'm going to show you something very interesting. I remain with the fact, right? Right? Now, how do I remain with the fact? With a resentment?
Yes.
With an anger? With an idea I must get rid of the image? You follow what's taking place? I'm not remaining with the fact. I am continuing with my reactions, not the fact. So what takes place, listen carefully, what takes place when the mind remains with the fact? I am neurotic. Because when my relationship is based on image which distorts and act rather without sanity. That's a fact. Because my action has done, you follow? has hurt somebody. That's a fact. I put a needle in somebody, shot somebody. That's a fact. To remain with that fact as fact, without the image, what takes place? The fact is, you are much cleverer than me, more intelligent, more alive, more active. The fact. It's a non-fact when I say, I must be as clever as you. That's the image illusion. You follow? Now, can remain with the fact, which means no image, no fiction, round the fact. You're cleverer. You're more clever, more bright, more intelligent. That is an actuality. What happens? There is no friction.
There can be relationship.
Huh?
There can be relationship.
No friction. Go slowly. There is no battle.
So you can learn.
See what takes place. Go into it. There is an affection. There is a gentleness. I can't. You follow? You are cleverer than I am. What am I to do? You are. There is a sensitivity. You follow? Whereas the images cuts you. You separates you. You got something of this. What time is it?